right, The Boys, season 4, episode 7, titled "The
Insider."
Insider. I said it earlier and I forgot. Yeah,
and this is when you go, "Insider, I hardly know her."
very nice, Jimmy.
Thank you, Holden. This episode, Holden, comes right off the back of last week's controversial episode. People are like, "The Boys, it's spinning its wheels. It's not going anywhere." Season 4, big disappointment. Holden, did this episode kind of address any of those things for you?
Well, I mean, you and I were. I think we weren't necessarily of the opinion it was spinning its wheels.
But maybe I mean, like the Frenchie stuff. I mean, we talked about that's a little tired.
Yeah.
We're like, is it not as good as the other season? Probably, but is it still entertaining? Yes, I think so. And there still were moments. It wasn't boring, I never thought, but it wasn't. It didn't seem like it was firing on all cylinders like it had in previous seasons. Maybe
I'm still quite enjoying this season personally. And this episode was I quite liked it. I thought it was. I don't know how it compares to the other episodes of the season. I haven't had a ton of time to just sit on it. As I told you, I watched this House of the Dragon and Twister all in very quick succession. So I haven't had a ton of time to just think about what happened this episode. Good thing I have this up in front of me. But I enjoyed when I watched it. I thought it was a good time. I have problems with it. Also, just kind of in some ways, I mean, Huey's just getting
absolutely shafted left and right.
Yeah,
this season.
Yeah,
poor guy.
This episode really doesn't help a lot of the complaints people had with the last episode. In that regard, I don't think. But overall, I thought it was a pretty entertaining episode. Jimmy, what do you think?
No, I thought it was. I think it was highly entertaining as well. Really builds up for the last episode really well. I think it's like sets it up where you don't know exactly what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like we said earlier on our full podcast, is that they're setting up like an assassination attempt in the final episode, which is just very eerie comparisons to what is going on in the world right now. And I just, my goodness, I can't imagine. Like, we will be able to see, after the next episode, like how exactly, he's like, it's going to be a big deal. And I wonder, it'd be even more eerie if it like had certain things that paralleled what happened, the assassination attempt on Trump this week in the United States. But it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, if he was killed, would they have like even released, like would they have waited, would they have had to wait to release the final episode? And we never know. We won't know. But that is interesting to think about. I mean, it would seem very, very tonally off to release an episode about especially if it's like, I'm assuming Singer or Newman or somebody's gonna die. It's gonna be shocking, and so
I think certainly if that had to happen, we would get another year delay for the new Captain America movie. Another round of reshoots. Let's go.
Oh man, but I just cannot. How. Just in the world, but also, what could have happened. And I just all within just tiny changes to what happened, what took place, then everything could be completely different, which is just such a bizarre time to be alive. But let's talk about The Boys, because we're not a political podcast, Holden. Except let's talk about the politics of the boy. No, that's not. I thought this was a really entertaining episode. It had a lot of things going for it. Just a lot of great moments. I mean, do you want to take this kind of chronologically, or just kind of things that stand out to you?
Well, I mean, you mentioned the stuff with Frenchie. Frenchie's back. I don't think he was in the last episode at all.
No,
he's back in this one. He got broken out of jail by Butcher, or not broken out.
Yeah.
Against
his will. Kind of similar to what happened to Stan Edgar.
Yeah. His plot line didn't really factor into this too much other than like how he and Kimiko kind of interacted, because she's angry at him for, not opening up to him and also refusing to see her in prison and everything.
Yeah, he rejected her visits.
Yeah, and so she's upset with that. Yeah, he's still just like the least interesting part, his storyline. I do like him helping out with the virus and everything that goes on with that, and I think that like I think he's fine when he's helping out with the main story. He
just hasn't helped.
Yeah,
this season.
Like, I think he has a good purpose in The Boys, especially as like a chemist and stuff, but he's just never doing that. And it's
usually just doing drugs and being sad about his past.
Yes.
But I think he had that nice moment with Kimiko this episode where she's like, look, you can't just turn yourself in. Yeah, but talk to me. Like we got to talk through these things and these problems, and that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So I thought that was a nice moment. Was it worth going through all that kind of dull stuff to get there, or just maybe rehashed kind of storylines from him, that character arc? I don't think we needed it. I don't know what you had Frenchie do instead, but maybe you don't need Frenchie to have a big storyline for a season. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, as much as I don't really want them to go back to it, I feel like if they just end it where it's at, that's also just very unsatisfying that we spent that much time with it. And it's like, oh, he's out and he's talking to Kimiko now, I guess. I don't know. I feel like there needs to be something more to it.
I don't think you need that storyline, because Kimiko is obviously going like, oh, have to face her past. Needed some nice moments in this, and she got to explain kind of
why she can't talk.
Yeah, why she can't talk. And kind of you get to see her fighting basically for survival. And I don't think you needed Frenchie to go through all that stuff to provide, that insight for her too. Like he could have just been on this adventure with Kimiko. I don't know if adventure is the right word, but yeah, kind of this path of reconciling herself, forgiving herself. And he could have just tagged along with her for that. Maybe they're interacting, and she's dealing with what's the name of that terrorist organization?
Rising Sun or something like that.
Yeah, something Sun. Maybe he could have just brought her. He could have been brought along with that, and maybe got to have more spotlight on Kimiko, and they could have. He could have helped her, like, I struggled with my past. This is how I kind of overcame it and that sort of thing. Instead of just replaying his whole storyline. Yeah. But again, that's like the one that didn't really work for me. But other parts of this episode, I mean, we get more great puppet work between Gen V and this kind of the opening of this episode. You get to see the Sesame Street.
Yeah, well,
Christmas special Vought edition.
Yeah, it's called Avenue V, which is a play. It's a play on Sesame Street, but it's also a play on the musical Avenue Q, which is it's like raunchy Sesame Street. It's like the purpose of that musical. So kind of between those two. But yeah, little Christmas special there. A-Train's sad about Antifa.
Yeah, what's with the long face, A-Train? Antifa. Another great parody song. If you see something, say something. Yeah,
that was. I mean, they're very good at catchy songs. Vought is. They've got it down pat.
They do have it down pat. But you can obviously see this conflict within Ryan of like. Is this really who I am and what I believe when I'm actually paying attention to these lyrics and what Homelander is standing for?
Yeah, I liked the Ryan stuff this episode. I feel like he hasn't been in the last few that much, I don't think. A few episodes, that is. But
you have the one kind of moment where he has the director.
Yeah, there's that. That was assistant. A couple episodes ago, I think. Yeah, but and then we have this, and he's clearly got that still has his moral compass despite Homelander trying to yank it out of him, really. But yeah, I really liked that stuff. And the puppet work was really fun. I liked the designs of all that and how pretty much the whole 7 is there. And I think it's really impressive and I like the detail of how quick and efficiently Vought works and just how members of the 7 come and go constantly, and they're just like constantly adjusting for that, and like every little bit of their content. I really like that. So
yeah, let's go on to some of the other characters. who gets some play in this episode. Maybe let's talk about Homelander's side of things, maybe with Sister Sage and Firecracker. So obviously Firecracker and Sister Sage have kind of swapped their positions with Homelander. It was just an episode or two ago that Firecracker was completely sidelined.
Yeah.
Held out of meetings.
Literally last episode before the end.
Yeah. And now it is completely swapped for reasons that involve Homelander and breast milk. So What did you think of this new dynamic, and what do you think's going on?
I mean, I like it because it's completely playing into what Sage said earlier in the season, that, you know, he doesn't like people that disagree with him or argue with him or talk down to him or whatever.
He's going to be threatened by her.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you know, she's clearly very smart, has this plan, you know, that I'm sure at this point, because she's not on, you know, completely on the team, it's going to go wrong in some regard. And maybe if she was still on the team, it would go completely correctly. I don't know. But yeah, I like that clearly him getting rid of her is such a bad idea for him, but he just hates her so much. Like, hates how, like, the way she thinks, how she kind of embarrassed him inadvertently too, but it wasn't really her fault. At the Tech Knight's place last episode. Yeah, there's a lot to it, but I like kind of watching this train wreck in some regards for Homelander, that is. Yeah,
so Sage knows that A-Train is the lake, which we kind of collected from her, the way she's acted and what she's seen, and now she's kind of led on to other things. Yeah. But obviously that we have that whole scene at the boys' headquarters that we could talk about in a second. But the aftermath of that is Homelander fires her.
Yeah.
Do you think she has like a contingency plan for this? Like,
maybe.
Do you think like we're gonna have Sister Sage? Are we gonna have a Saw ending-esque moment where the do twist music comes on, and she's like, you see Homelander, I knew you were gonna do this because I said it from the very beginning, and that's why I had this contingency plan. And I'm spiteful, I'm gonna do this. Or do you think it's just like that's it? That's Sister Sage. They're just gonna try to kind of keep with the plan, but it's going to backfire in the face.
I think there's something is going to happen that's going to have her come out on top a little bit at least, or, you know, she's at a low point right now. I think she's going to come back in some regard. She's not like she seems to be doing this plan. Granted, we still don't know all of her motivations, and I hope we do learn some more of it, but she seems to mostly just be doing it because Homelander like convinced her. She's not nearly as like genocidal as he is or anything, right? So I don't know how much she actually cares about the plan going through if she's not on board, but I think she was more there just because it was like a place for her to be where she has some sort of purpose. So as long as she maybe retains that or gets that back, she might just do whatever. Like, yeah, who knows? I don't think this is the end for her, though.
No, I think she'll have some sort of scene in the last episode, whether that is helping out the boys or just getting a little revenge on Homelander, or enjoying watching it all fall apart in his face.
Yes, exactly. That would be funny if she just watches it and laughs.
Grab the popcorn. Grab the Outback Bloomin' Onion. Yeah. Which I had some the other day.
How was it?
Yesterday. I had never had one before. I'm not a big onion ring guy or onions guy, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. Did Outback, this is off topic. I can't remember if Outback invented.
On topic.
I can't remember if Outback invented the Bloomin' Onion. I feel like that might be
if not, they perfected it.
I feel like it might be like something weird they invented and then other people have taken. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Do your own research. But let's talk about the headquarters scene where the Deep and new Black Noir go and attack the boys. Because that's Homelander's idea.
Yes.
It's a great idea, according to Firecracker.
It's a great idea.
Attacking the boys. Sister Sage is like, there's no point. Why are you doing this? They don't matter anymore. It's irrelevant. Going to attack. This is great. It was so good to see this.
It's very good until they just don't kill the Deep.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest, like, as much as I love the Deep, and I'm glad the Deep's still
I thought
in
he was
it,
dead.
I'm like, yeah, it did not make, their reasoning for not killing him did not make that much sense. I was like, just kill it. That's one less person you have to deal with. Like, whatever. You're trying to kill them anyway. Like,
I thought he was dead. I thought his arc was complete because you also have the scene with Ambrosius, the octopus earlier on, who is not dead, right? Like, if Ambrosius is dead, then because she is out of her,
I didn't understand that either.
yeah, she's out of her tank
For a little while.
and she's fine, and then he destroys the tank, and she's like immediately feels like she's dying.
Yeah, I feel
So they need to. They had to either they need to have some sort of explanation for it, like, oh, the room. They needed, like, I don't know, but it seemed like either they need an explanation for it that's going to come. She's not dead, or it's just a massive continuity error that takes you out of it.
I would not be surprised if it's the last one, honestly.
Yeah, which would be a bummer.
Yeah,
because it seems very obvious. Like, how would someone not catch that?
yeah, but
Just have him like smash it and then accidentally like just
smush
her head.
Yeah.
Other people are saying octopi can just squeeze through tiny spaces too.
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh,
she
go
could
under the
easily
door or
just
something.
squeeze under the door, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, clearly the Deep has just fully recommitted. He's Kylo Ren. I know what I need to do. Do I have the strength to do it? You know, he's fully committed to Homelander, even though they've, toyed around with the idea of, is he going to get this redemption arc? Seemingly no. A-Train gets the redemption.
And that's
you
fine.
do not. The Deep, the most hilarious character on the show.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I love how serious he is with Homelander. You're like, I will do anything for you.
And
It's like,
Homelander's just like, okay,
all right, great, bud. So go attack the boys' headquarters. Surely we have a Chekhov's gun with Black Noir's narcolepsy in the final episode, right?
maybe. Well, it was established earlier,
but it like didn't really impact this current battle.
Not really, aside from, I guess, Butcher getting to get away for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It could come back, but yeah, I thought that was funny. He just passes out while they're fighting. Yeah. That was pretty good. And he can fly, apparently.
Yeah.
That's Black Noir.
Yes.
So,
but yeah, no, A-Train has this big moment going in to save the boys, helping out with Starlight. And they're able to escape, although the Flatiron building does not fare very well in that battle. But yeah, I thought the Deep was so dead. I thought, character arc had come to a conclusion there. He's going to die.
Starlight picks him up by the gills.
Yeah, she does. Ooh. Wow. Seems just rough.
Yeah.
And what Butcher's evil demon on his shoulder guy, forget his name.
Jack?
Refuses to do his thing that he did to, the preacher guy.
Ezekiel.
Thank you. Man, I'm blanking out on names for that part. But yeah, no. So maybe that's also a Chekhov's. Butcher can just annihilate people.
Yeah.
When he's passing out.
Yeah, I'm sure that has to come into play this next episode, I would think.
Also, did he kill people in the bar that he passed out at?
I don't know.
They kind of left that open-ended, right?
I'm guessing not. I'm guessing he just passed out. Yeah.
I was afraid that he was just going to...
Yeah, I feel like we would have seen something or gotten more of a hint of it, but I'm guessing he just passed out.
Yeah.
So,
but the A-Train's the leak. They know now, but A-Train has found out who the assassin is going to be.
Yes.
At least he thinks. And that's what Sister Sage wants him to think. But they don't know that it's shape-shifting.
Yes.
Or as Frank Herbert calls them in the Dune series, face dancers.
Sure.
Which is a fun thing to say. Face dancer.
All right.
So the shapeshifter, do they just call it the shapeshifter?
I think it's the I don't think that character has a name yet, so just the shapeshifter character. Oh, Joe is Jeffrey Dean Morgan, my bad. But yeah, the shapeshifter. Yeah,
the shapeshifter. So obviously, when there's a shapeshifter around, no one's safe. It's the thing.
Yeah.
Who is it? It's gonna infiltrate us somehow. The insider. Yeah. I mean, it's a double entendre there between A-Train and then now at the end of the episode with the shapeshifter. But I definitely was like the moment. First off, fun little chase, and shapeshifting and that sort of thing. But the moment the lady comes to the bar.
Well, before you do that, we see how the shapeshifter like shapeshifts as like peel off skin and
just
everything.
Disgusting. And it's not instantaneous. No. Of course not. Not in the boys universe. It's got to be the most disgusting, just obscene, explicit, bloody, gory thing possible. But yeah, as soon as that lady comes to like take the selfie with Starlight, I was like, oh, but then I kind of forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, Huey's finally getting a nice moment. No. Man.
Well, I kind of guessed because I was like, Starlight would not be into wearing this. There's been no development over this last episode to make me think that Starlight would be okay with this being back here or anything. So I was like, all right, this has to be like a shapeshifter, I guess.
Nothing nice can happen to Huey.
No.
So poor Annie January's locked up in that room. She's gonna break out. She's gonna get out somehow. Who's gonna let her out? Sister Sage?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's possible since she's been fired.
Yeah. We will find out, and we'll find out when the boys, discover that how are they going to discover that and that Starlight is the shapeshifter, or the shapeshifter is pretending to be Starlight?
Yeah,
because she also took the documents. Oh, she took the recording of the Newman. I think the Newman, the audio recordings, I believe that they had from Tech Knight's party.
Oh, okay, that's what I couldn't
believe is what they had.
What they took. Okay.
Yeah. And that sets up the final episode of season 4 of The Boys, Holden. It's the second to last season finale of The Boys we'll ever have.
Yeah.
Assassination Run is the name of the last one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see where it goes. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like it could be a very exciting season finale. I know lots of times people are disappointed by The Boys season finales, but this has a lot of potential, hoping it lives up to it.
Are people? I mean, I know people are disappointed with the season 3 finale, but with season 1 and 2 as well.
I feel like season 1, a lot of people were underwhelmed. Granted, I didn't want that all came out all. I think that was the only season that all came out all at once. So I don't think it was like as talked about then. Season 2 was fine. Like I thought that finale was pretty.
Thought for both. I think they're all 3 pretty solid. I know people think the third one's underwhelming, but I thought it was still pretty good, especially rewatching it.
I liked it. But I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, we didn't mention MM at all.
Oh yeah, so MM, he's got that nice moment too with A-Train. He's gonna leave. He's gonna go to Belize or wherever it is with his family. And A-Train's like, you don't just get to run.
Yeah,
like what do you think?
Do you think it's not gonna happen in Belize?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, it's gonna spread there if nothing's done now.
Yeah,
so I like that.
It was a nice moment.
Yeah.